Hello, my name is Michael Garrett, and this is PoppinCulture Movie Reviews. My guest today is comedian Adam Cook. Thank you for coming on to the movie review.
Thank you for having me.
The movie that we'll be reviewing today is Bohemian Rhapsody. Adam chose the movie.
Mm-hmm.
This will be a complete 100% spoiler review, but before we spoil the movie, Adam, would you advise that they watch it?
Absolutely.
I would also. It tells a great story about the band Queen, and it's very well shot. And is there anything else you'd like to say before we spoil it?
It's not as historically accurate as it could be, but it's still good. So, it's going to get a little homoerotic, watching that, but it is Freddie Mercury after all.
Yeah.
So,
yes. All right, guys. Everything past this point is 100% spoilers. Adam, I'll let you kick it off, buddy. What would some things you would like to say about the movie?
Well, we were talking before about the dumbing down of culture. This is a perfect example of even back when someone said this is dumbed down, it was way better than what you see today. Because back then everyone was saying, oh, it's all style over substance. It's all style over substance. And in a way it was, but they still wrote so many awesome songs that are just amazing. So I would definitely go back and watch it so you can see when music was still good, but it was starting to decline towards what it has become, and see one of the bands that was responsible for making it happen back when those bands were still good,
I think let's go ahead and start with what you said, since you started off that way. Because I don't know the whole history, I haven't fact checked it, but it is it is one of those biopics where before I even did because I didn't do a lot of research because I wanted just to review the movie. I didn't want to focus too much on their real life. But when I did a little research, once I realized that a good bit of the people in the band were alive, I don't know about you, but whenever I see that people are still alive,
right,
I noticed that they definitely curved to make themselves look good.
Yeah, they do.
They really, and since three of the members, at this time I think three of the members were alive. I think those three are still alive, actually.
All of them except for the singer.
Yep.
Yeah.
And once I saw that those many people were alive, I was like, yeah, they're gonna make sure that they're seen in a good light.
Well, they try to make Freddie Mercury look like he was the one who broke up the band and all that, which did not happen. In fact, they never actually broke up. Yeah. They were still working on material. They were still touring. They just took some time off.
Yes.
And
one of my things, and it works for the movie because it makes the plot go. It never feels like it's dragging.
Right.
But what I love, and I thought was hilarious, but they did well, was the way they came up with the songs.
Right.
Like that was, in movie world, that is perfect. But in real life, I was like, there's no way somebody was just clapping and it was like, that's how We Will Rock You was made. That's not.
You never know. That could be it. Because, the thing is like, even I don't know how exactly. Yeah, I had to laugh. I don't know how they came up with stomp, stomp, clap, stomp, stomp, clap. But, they wrote something which you hear at every sporting event, always, and they were really good at anthemic songs, so like fist pumping songs and all that sort of stuff. So I could see them just being in the studio and someone's like, stomp, stomp, clap. Start like, this is catchy. Yeah. And like, okay, now we need to add music to it and blah, 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 blah. But like you said, they're trying to make themselves look good. Yeah. Because they're still alive.
And can't knock them. Like, especially since I think one or all put a little bit of that money in. Like, I think they all were executive producers. So at that point, it's kind of like, it's hard for me, but like, oh yeah, I want you to show the real side of me.
Yeah, I want you to show that time I had the coked out, tantrum and blah, 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 blah. Like, you don't want to say that.
I got grandkids now.
And it's like one of the guys, the drummer, he wrote that song, I'm in Love with My Car.
Yes.
And they don't show how he got it on the B-side of Bohemian Rhapsody because he had a whole temper tantrum where he locked himself in a closet and said he wouldn't come out until they put that on the B-side. The rest of the band members didn't know that the reason why he was doing that is because he'll make more money.
Yeah, he got all the writer's credit.
He got all the writer's credit.
He deserved it. Yeah, he deserved it.
He made a ton of money off that, but I'm sure he didn't want that part to get into the movie.
Yeah.
You know, so they just conveniently left that part out.
Yeah.
You know, so what are you going to do?
Would have been a hilarious scene, though.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like, come on, John, please come out. No, sort off. You know, all that sort of.
When it came to that, the actors, I feel like everyone was on their A game.
Oh, yeah, especially the guy who played Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I like Mr. Robot, but I think this was where you saw that, like, this guy can act. Like, I'm excited to see him as a James Bond villain now.
Oh, is he going to be a James Bond villain?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, not saying, I like Mr. Robot, but at the same time, it was like, it's just playing a character that, like, a lot of people talk like this sometimes. But see that and how much passion he had in the role as Freddie Mercury, because that's not an easy thing to play. Yeah,
because you got to get his mannerisms down, and he was one of the wittiest guys out there when he was. They're like, oh, they say your band is, too crazy and blah blah. I was like, oh, you're absolutely right, darling. We're the most preposterous band who ever lived. Or they ask him like, who do you sleep with, Freddie? And he's like, I sleep with men, women, cats. I sleep with them all.
And at this time, that was wild
hugely
to
controversial.
Hear that out loud. Yes.
Yeah.
Which today is just like that's Tuesday.
Yeah.
But like, not for me, but like for people to hear it.
They asked him, do you think Queen's music is gonna live forever? And he was like, I won't give a fuck, darling. I'll be dead. I won't care. You know, it's like, dude, that's just too awesome.
Yeah, like that's the answer that like you're not supposed to give, but it's true. It's like
I won't give a fuck. I'll be dead.
The answer your agent tells you is, of course, I believe in it.
We'll live forever.
I believe in it.
We're going to be listening to it 1,000 years from now. But he's like, I don't care. It paid for the cocaine, so whatever.
Yeah, I won't be here. Like, when it comes to, because I think it does center around Freddie Mercury. They give the other actors a good audience.
Yeah.
And make sure you know that they were there. But Freddie Mercury is the most important, person in this movie.
First of all, that's why. I mean, there are some flaws in the movie. Yeah. It's like, I think one of the main things I loved about it when I think about it is it was about Freddie Mercury, which is what everybody's going to want to hear anyway. And the songs carry it. Yeah. It was like a little greatest hits compilation. On screen.
Of course.
So that's the main reasons, too, why I think it was so good. But, of course, it was about Freddie Mercury. Yeah. I mean, he was the focal point of the band, and also it was good, even though I don't think he ever forgot he needed the other guys, but it did give them their due. Like, look, when he went solo, he had his own solo record that just went nowhere because he didn't have the other three guys to argue with and to fight with, and no, it should be like this. No, it should be like that. You need that, even though he never really forgot that. It was actually the other guys that went off and did solo stuff before he did. He was the last one to do that. Yeah. They all went out and did their own thing.
I give it up to you. I am liking your Freddie Mercury. You're doing good.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I can't say that they didn't do a good job, but like, how'd you feel about the teeth?
Well, I mean, he had big old buck teeth, man. I mean, and he never got it fixed because he was worried he would lose his. He had like a 4-octave range. Yep. He literally did an album where he sang with a legit opera singer. Yep. Because he could do that. Yep. So why fuck with it?
But I mean, in the movie side, do you feel like maybe they made him too big, or do you think that was?
I don't think you can make him too big.
Okay.
Sorry. I don't think you can make them too big because they were already pretty damn big in real life. They were always big. Yeah. So there's no making them too big unless you make them look like a member of the British royal family or something where it's just like, but. Yeah.
Do you like the fact that like they did touch on his love life, but it was never held too long. Like everything went back to the band, and I do enjoy that. Or would you have liked to see the love life?
Like to see. I don't care about the love life because I know what he was doing. He was. Yeah. And the thing is, he banged women too. He
was in love. He was truly in love with that woman.
Yeah. But I'm saying, even after he came out and started leading about as openly gay of a life as you could have back then, he was still banging women.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he'll fuck anything. You know, so hey, come here, and let's do this. And I'm Freddie Mercury. Come on, you know. But I don't want to. I mean, I'm glad I didn't. Like they didn't reproduce a sex scene. I don't want to see that stuff because that would remind me of I'm watching Behind the Candelabra, where Michael Douglas is playing Liberace and Matt Damon is playing his boy toy.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where Matt Damon's plowing him from behind, and Michael Douglas is like, "Here, take a popper," and he's like, "No, I don't want that. I don't need to see that." I don't want to see that. But that party that they showed in the movie, that was nothing like a Queen party. Nothing at all. No. Dude, they had like midgets walking around with bowls of cocaine on their head. So they're just walking around and anybody can just take a bump. They had a full buffet with every kind of food and wine and beer and liquor you could ever want. They had... On either side, there's a big bowl of wheat. There's a big bowl of cocaine. They also had a Jell-O mold, which had a midget. I guess he liked midgets.
That's what I was about to say.
He had a midget in the Jell-O mold, and when you poke the midget, he would go like this, and the Jell-O mold would jiggle.
How much you think you gotta get paid for that?
Like, yeah, they're all getting paid.
No, how much?
I don't know. Whatever your dignity's worth.
Apparently.
But
you call me. What you need me to do now?
They had prostitutes of all kinds in the bathrooms. So you go in, if you want a woman, there's a woman. You want a man, there's a man. You want a transgender whatever, that's in the next bathroom. So like that party that they showed in that movie, he would think it's boring. Because that's not a Freddie Mercury party. A Freddie Mercury party, I remember there was a rock photographer that was talking about how it was literally like Caligula. Like you walk in that party and he's like, I'm going to hell for this. This is definitely a sin to even have walked in to this party at all. Yeah. That is what I would have liked to see. I don't need to see him banging Mary Austin. I don't need to see him banging that dude he was with for a while. I don't need to see that, but I would have wanted to see a real Queen party, because that's the stuff of legend,
And then I like to ask this question. Besides of course, the amazing soundtrack from the actual album, how do you feel the rest of the soundtrack went when they didn't, when they had the cruise in the scenes? I feel like they did very well with that.
Yeah, but that was, nobody wants to hear that. Everybody wants to hear the Queen songs.
True.
That's what I was there for.
Of course.
We're going to call this the cough episode, by the way.
I'm not a fan of Queen, like growing up. Like I'm a fan now. But when I saw the movie, it was just like, oh wow, I didn't know that was them.
Oh yeah.
Like it's a lot of songs that they, you just,
and a lot of stuff people have never even heard of. Like when they did Keep Yourself Alive.
Yeah.
I knew about that song. I love that song. Or they didn't play Seven Seas of Rye. That's another thing. Why didn't they play that one? That one was awesome. To
see the work they put into, and I think it has a long name, but the song that's Galileo.
Bohemian Rhapsody. That's the name of the song.
Damn. Wow, that makes sense now. That makes so much. That should be the name of it because that took 3 weeks just to make that one song.
And it was so overdubbed that the tape.
Yep, you could see right through it.
You could see right through it.
So definitely, wow.
That was the most expensive album at the time. Yep. Wow. And they made a lot of money off of it though.
That song, wow. That makes total sense. I would name it after that. Not saying that, but that maybe is their most famous song, maybe.
Oh yeah, totally.
So that should be the name.
But they have so many other songs like.
I'm just thinking like, why would you not name your movie Queen? But now that makes sense. I would name it after like.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure once that came out, they got. You still hear it on the radio.
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah. But
I know the band was like, we're not gonna name it after that car song.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Or Fat Bottom Girls. Love that song.
Yeah. And now we get to, I wouldn't say the climax, but I think it was the scene that everybody was nervous, in which the intro of the movie is to that scene, but they cut back in time, then they cut forward, was that live performance.
Live Aid?
Yes.
Yeah. Because that's
That just I saw it earlier about actually like 2 hours ago. I actually saw the live performance and he nailed it. Like the guy who played Freddie Mercury, he nailed it. Like he nailed it.
That's why that guy was just. I'm talking about the actor too, but Freddie Mercury is the greatest rock frontman ever.
Yeah.
If you disagree with me on that, you're wrong. It's one of those things for me. It's like either it's black or white. You're either on the side of righteousness and truth, or you aren't. And
a lot of people have tried to copy him. I said it.
Oh yeah,
a lot of people have tried to copy him.
Everybody who came after him tried to copy him, but you can't copy Freddie Mercury. Now Adam Lambert is an excellent replacement because he has flair. He has a great voice, and also he's not trying to be Freddie Mercury because he knows he can't be. He's going to be Adam Lambert. Don't even try to top him. You can't. So it's just he's that's why he's a great replacement.
But you could definitely see a little bit of him in a lot of people. Like Adam. Oh man, I'm messing his name up. The guy from Maroon 5. Like I see a little bit of it in him, but he doesn't. He's not that forceful with his performance.
Well, it's
Divine, right? Is Adam Divine? Am I thinking the right person?
Levine. Yeah. Or Levine or whatever.
Yeah.
I think he's an idiot, honestly. But
okay.
The thing is, it's all the tats.
You can always trust Adam and be honest.
Yeah, it's like it's not that he's not talented. It's just like
he couldn't go solo either. That solo album was not good.
No.
But to get back to that performance,
it's for me. It's all the tattoos, and he does the whole bravado thing and all that. And it's like, come on, bro.
I'm not trying to defend him, but I just know how I am. I'm not trying to defend him, but I know I am. Yeah. If you voted me as the most sexiest man alive.
When did he get voted sexiest man alive?
I want to say 17 or 16.
Oh, well. Yeah, back when they were firing on all cylinders, I guess I could see that.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying, you give it to me for 1 year, you might as well give it to me the rest of my life.
He did bang Jessica Simpson, so that's pretty cool. And then she thought they were going to be together, and it's like, nah, it's just a one-night stand. It was like, sorry, Christian girl with huge knockers, but we're not together now. Yeah.
Okay, to get back to the scene. How do you feel like, because after watching on YouTube, watching the live event, and then watching what they did in the movie, they nailed it. Like it's almost shot for shot. A lot of the scenes almost shot for shot.
It looks exactly like the way they played. And that's, because it is like a legendary performance, and they blew everybody off stage. Yeah. And everyone was like, oh, they're dinosaurs. They're washed up, and they're like, sit back, and I'm going to show you how you do this. And they just blew everybody off stage. Because they were that good. They were,
Do you think it was a little upsetting? Because I did like very little research, maybe 20 minutes research, because I just wanted to talk most of the movie, but it's hard not to talk about it. When he got AIDS in the movie, isn't the same timeline of him getting AIDS in real life?
Sort of. Because he excuse me. Like I said, we're going to call this a cough episode, but I don't know when he got tested, but I think he had it for a while, because it was one of those things like in the gay community, like if you were old enough to remember that, you knew somebody who died from it. And so it was well known, and I think he avoided it for a lot of years. I don't even know if he knew for certain before Live Aid. I'm not sure, because I don't think he went and actually got the test, or he did the test once, and it came back negative. So he thought it was all right. And then he went back after, did it again. It's like, yeah, you got it. And back then it was a death sentence. There's no way out. And so I don't know when he found out, if it was before or after Live Aid. But see, that's another thing. Like, I don't know how accurate it is. They jump around in the timeline. Yeah. Like, before Live Aid, they didn't have like a few days to rehearse. They had just gotten off of a tour.
Yep.
And they had been working on material for a new album, so they weren't like that rusty. Like maybe they had, okay, we're off tour, we're gonna take a few months off, and then we'll get back into it and all that. And it was like, oh, Live Aid called. Okay, yeah, we'll do it. And but I don't know how, they weren't rusty or anything like that. So when he found out that he had that horrible disease, I don't know. But I think it was after Live Aid. The part that was accurate is he came in and he was like, look, I'm only telling you. He told his bandmates, like, I don't want to talk about it from this point forward. I'm going to spend the rest of my life doing what I want to do, doing what I love, being a musician, and a singer and a performer. And that's it. That part was accurate, but I don't know when he found out.
Okay. Okay. Do you have a favorite scene?
The first concert they did together, where he rips the mic out.
Yeah.
Because that didn't actually happen with Queen.
No, it was another band.
Another band. And so after that was kind of his trademark. I have the half, like his scepter. And then at the end of every show, they didn't show this, like at the end of every show, he would have the roadies come out and they would drape him in an ermine coat and give him his crown. And so he had his half mic as a scepter and he put the crown on his head, all that kind of stuff.
Like a James Brown thing?
In a way, yeah.
Okay.
But this was more, I am the master of all of this and blah, blah, blah. It was just Freddie Mercury being Freddie Mercury.
Is there anything you learned from the movie that you didn't know?
I didn't know he found happiness towards the end with a dude. I didn't know about that. The guy that he was with, not the guy who was the manipulative, like literal cocksucker, not that guy, but well, he was literally a cocksucker, wasn't he?
Goddamn, Adam. Okay, Adam.
I'm just saying.
God, Adam.
I'm saying that guy wasn't the one he found happiness with. He found happiness with the good guy who, was, and see, what was messed up too, he left everything to Mary. But I think he didn't leave anything to his partner.
Oh.
I think he made his partner executor of his estate. So he didn't give him the house or the money, but he made him the guy, like if somebody wants to use a Queen song.
Okay, I got you.
Or if they have to, if they want to use he's in charge of his legacy and all of that.
That's powerful, though.
Yeah, that's powerful. You make a lot of money off that.
Yeah. Okay,
we need you. We want to use this for this thing. Okay, well, let me call up the other band members. We'll discuss it, and then I'll decide what I want to do. You make good money off that.
Yeah, he's not struggling. If he's alive,
he's not struggling. Yeah. And I'm sure Mary takes care of him because,
hopefully.
Yeah, so it's all good.
Yeah. 1 through 10, what do you give this movie?
I would say an 8 because there were some things that weren't accurate. And, again, I think the thing that put me over the top was the guy all the actors were amazing, but the guy who did Freddie Mercury, there's a reason why he got an Oscar. He deserved that.
Yeah.
Because it was amazing. And the songs. Because I was like, oh, yeah, I remember that one and that one and that one and that one and that one. And it was just fun to see example of someone who was, telling the establishment to kiss off back when that meant something. Yeah. Now, if you're part of the LGBT community, people are going to fall all over themselves to worship you at the pagan altar of wokeness and everything. Back then, you could get in serious trouble.
You could get killed.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a good thing now that
no.
Freddie led the way that like now?
Oh yeah, that is good.
Yeah, like now it's not taboo.
Right, he's one of the people who made it okay.
Yeah. I would get.
I'm straight, and again, I would not suck his dick, but I would have to pause. I love him so much that there'd be like less than a second, be like, well, it's Freddie Mercury. Then I wouldn't do it because I'm not gay, but he's so awesome that there'd be that half a second where I was like, well, he does deserve a blowjob, but it's like he did that back. He made it okay for people to be like, yeah, I like that effeminate dude. He's really cool, man. Like he's a great rock frontman.
It's one of those things like, hey man, I help you go find somebody gay, but I can't.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. Yeah,
I can't do it.
Now I would move heaven and earth to help him get his dick sucked, but I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And so I think he made it okay to say that, and so
I would give the movie a solid 7. I did have problems with the pacing, but
right.
And like I said, I think everybody gave a great performance, but I just thought the pacing. I thought
that's why I also said 8. I don't want to give it a 9 or a 10 because that party that they showed, that's nothing like a Queen party. Yeah. Nothing at all.
But yeah, just the pacing. I feel like they could have cut a lot of stuff out, and a lot, like you said, just the misinformation. I'm kind of not a fan of that.
Yeah, and they wanted a PG rating.
Yeah, and that which it makes sense. I mean, you got to make your money back, and I feel like they did probably put a lot of money.
Oh yeah, they had to make the money back, but I mean, that dude's life wasn't PG. That dude's life was like NC-17. He didn't give a damn. He would leave stage in the middle of the show to go get laid.
Yeah,
and I mean, he's not the only band to do that, or he's not the only guy to do that, but that was his life, So it's like
there's people that play sports that do that. Surprisingly,
really,
there's a few baseball players that have done that now.
There was a baseball player actually. He pitched a no-hitter while tripping on acid.
Yeah, can't think of his name.
Yeah, that's funny.
Are we thinking of the same guy? I'm thinking of it's a Hispanic fellow.
It was in the 70s. I don't know.
No, he probably was Hispanic. Maybe we're talking about two different people. I'm talking about somebody in the 90s. Okay. Do you believe that this movie will become a part of pop culture?
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. Because, I mean, it's about, they could have done that. Like, for instance, Hank Williams has never had a decent biopic done of him.
No. Oh, I went to see the movie with Low-Key.
Tim Harrington or whatever.
I saw it in theaters, dude. I was so upset.
Yeah,
I was like, what is this?
Yeah,
what is this? Good. What is this? I was like...
Yeah. So, this is a movie where it could have sucked so hard, but it didn't. Yeah. And so, good. And so, yeah, I think it'll definitely be part of pop culture because it was actually not a misfire. Yes. But I think it could have been better, sure, but I think it'll definitely be part of pop culture, yeah.
And we're not going to spoil this movie off, but I do want to discuss something that we said in the beginning. We're not saying anything negative about the band members for them depicting themselves not in a bad way just because they were alive.
I am.
A lot of people do that. Have you seen the movie Rocket Man?
You mean that one where the dude has the jetpack?
No, Elton John.
Oh, Elton John. No, I thought you were talking about the comic
I know what
book.
you're talking about now.
Yeah. No, I have not seen. That's out.
Yeah, it's on. It's just you can. I think you see it on HBO Max now. But long story short, I saw the movie in theaters because I'm an Elton John fan.
Yeah.
But even when I watched, I was like, so everybody else is the bad guy.
Yeah,
really
not him.
Like
not the guy with the huge ego and the major drug problem.
Like not one time did you do something wrong. Like
whatever.
I just couldn't. But I did like the fact that he made it a musical. Like I was like, okay,
right,
that's a smart idea.
Yeah, that's such bullshit.
Because I'm a fan, but it was like around like the 40 to 50 minute mark where I was like, even with this movie, I was like, oh, okay, that's the way this is gonna go. Like,
right. Okay, so this is gonna be a big wet kiss on your ass.
Yeah. But if you executive produce, it's hard to be like. It's hard to tell. As a director or a writer, it's hard to be like,
you don't wanna,
hey man, don't you want to talk about this? I researched this. That never happened.
Right.
Okay?
We're not gonna do that.
I like my job.
Some people want to sanitize their history.
Yeah.
That's on them. But I think it takes away from your story. Because I mean, it's better, I think, to have. Even if I think they went too hard on Freddie Mercury about the whole breaking things up and I don't need anybody, because he never did that.
No. But he's dead also, so they had to
But see, he wouldn't have cared because he told the executive as well, who was his partner, he was like, you can do anything you want, just don't make me boring. To do that, what they did in Rocket Man, I haven't seen that yet, but to do that is boring. And I don't think Freddie Mercury ever would have done that. He'd be like, look, I could be a little bit of an asshole sometimes, and we all are. Yeah. Show it all. Show the good part of me. Show, I like that part at the end where, it showed him reconciled, his family, they were behind him.
Yep.
He was like, we're going to go feed the starving children in Africa, just like, good thoughts, good words, good deeds, just like you taught me, Papa. I was like...
Killing divorce.
Yeah, I know, right?
You got it, right.
And so it was like, he would have shown that, and he would have shown the time he was pissed off at them, and he got into a fight with John Deacon in the studio, and blah, 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 because it makes for a more interesting story. And so if you're just trying to... I don't think he would have whitewashed his life. Yeah. If anything, he probably would like, why didn't you include this? Or, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like you sanitize it.
I got you now. When you said whitewash, I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Don't worry, I'm not. Yeah,
I was like, wait a minute. I think you're wrong moving. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans?
Go to bed with Freddie Mercury. Dig him up and go to bed with Freddie Mercury. There you go.
I was at PoppinCulture. Don't agree with that statement. I just mess with you. Where can they follow you?
As I said on the first thing, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Parler, Instagram. Instagram is Adam F. Cook. Twitter is @genialasshole. So that's GENILASSHOLE. I have my YouTube channel, Pyramid Schemes International. Finally going to get back into doing sketches again, so the stuff's coming for that soon. I have a cover of "Come Together" by the Beatles. It's actually, I believe it's called the YouTube page is called like Orchard. It's with Fuego Radio.
Okay, I know what that is.
So, and put that in with the other thing when I said everybody where to go. It's called "Come Together" (World). I'm working with Dust House Films. I've been in 2 movies with them. Who's Hiring with Jake Staley, and I've been in Successful. Who's Hiring is only on DVD, but Successful is on YouTube. I think we're close to 10,000 views last I checked. I'm gonna be working. I got the lead in their next project that they're doing. Don't know when though. Working on a pilot for a history show idea, and hopefully Wild Out starts back up again sometime soon. I don't know when that's gonna happen, but you can see me on social media, YouTube, Pyramid Schemes International. And I'm starting a podcast on Sunday with my buddy Tony. It's called Fireside Chats. Our website is scfiresidechats.com. That's starting this Sunday. And, just rocking and rolling, listening to Queen.
All right. Thank you again for coming on.
Mm-hmm. And
thank you. No problem. Thank you guys for listening, and have a great day.